You also sitting on a newsroom.com over there?
Yes.
All right, bring it home,
Come
baby.
strong.
Bring
Come
it
strong.
home.
Looks like a long one.
I'm going to talk not about a crime or an incident. I'm going to talk about a St. Louis personality,
All right.
Lorenzo Pietro Berra, otherwise known as Yogi.
Oh.
All right. I was thinking that.
And this is, I'm not going to go into Yogi-isms and stuff because there's much more to the guy than just his sayings and stuff. But he was born here in 1925. His father came over from Italy. He was his older brothers were born in Italy, but he and his younger brother, and his sister were born here in St. Louis, and they lived at 5447 Elizabeth up on the hill.
Yep.
Which I think now is a bed and breakfast.
Is it really?
Or like Airbnb that you can actually stay at. On that street, Joe Garagiola lived across the street. Most people know that. Another catcher from St. Louis. They were best buddies their whole life. And actually, Jack Buck lived on that street when he first came to was a young broadcaster in St. Louis. So it's a pretty.
I think it's got like Hall of Fame Street over it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they renamed the street. But another future major leaguer and another kid that lived on the hill was a guy named Jack McGuire. And Jack is the one who nicknamed Yogi, because he saw a newsreel. He went to the movies, he saw a newsreel, and it was about India. And they showed a yogi, which is somebody like performing yoga. And the guy looked like Yogi, like Berra. Because Yogi would always sit, like when he was waiting to bat or he was whatever, he was bored, he'd sit with his arms and his legs folded, and it just stuck. From that day on, and he became Yogi. But Jack only played 94 MLB games, but he played with the Giants, the Pirates, and the Browns. But another interesting thing about Jack McGuire is the Giants. When the Giants got rid of him, they brought up a kid named Willie Mays.
Jeez.
And Jack was number 24 for the Giants, and Willie got Jack's number, and that was his number, during his career. But Yogi went to school through the 8th grade. He went to Southside Catholic, which is now St. Mary's. But after 8th grade, he decided he'd rather go to work and help his family, make money. But he played American Legion ball. He was really good. Joe Garagiola was really good. I think Joe was more the catcher, and Yogi played like the outfield more. But when they were 16, they decided they were going to go down and try out for the Cardinals. And apparently they just did these tryouts all the time, because you hear about Red Shanks and those people coming over and doing these tryouts. Well, they did really well, but Branch Rickey was the general manager, and he offered Joe Garagiola a $500 signing bonus, but he only offered Yogi a $250 signing bonus. But there was a method to the madness. Branch Rickey knew he was leaving the Cardinals and he was going to the Dodgers. So he wanted to sign him with the Dodgers, so he offered him a lower contract. Well, Joe took the $500, and Yogi said, I'm not signing for $250. You insulted me. So Branch Rickey ends up leaving. But when Yogi got slighted, his American Legion coach called the Yankees, because he had a hookup there, and the Yankees hurried up and signed Yogi before Rickey even got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How much?
Backfired on him.
He got $500 too from the Yankees. So anyway, he signed with the Yankees, and he went to the minor leagues. It was they were called different levels back then, but shortly after he started the minor leagues, the World War II broke out. So he went and enlisted in the Navy, and he went to France, Italy, North Africa, but his biggest claim to fame is that on D-Day, he was at both Utah and Omaha beaches. He got wounded, and he was out there with, he had a machine gun, just shooting it out with the enemy, and he ended up getting a Purple Heart, a Distinguished Unit Citation, 2 battle stars in the European Theater Operations ribbon during his course of World War II. So you think that's why I didn't say anything about his Yogi-isms, because he's one of the
war
best.
Hero. Yeah.
He's a war hero. He's one of the best, probably, the best hitting catcher, one of the top 2 or 3 best hitting catchers ever. But, he was an 18-time All-Star. He won 10 World Series as a player, which is a record. And he had a career batting average of 285. He hit 358 home runs and 1,400 runs batted in. He went to the Hall of Fame in 72. Joe Garagiola ended up playing 676 Major League games with the Cardinals, Pirates, Cubs, and Giants. But Joe's in the Hall of Fame also
broadcaster
as a broadcaster
for wrestling at the Chase.
Yeah. Well, Mickey was his brother.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
All right, I mixed them up. Sorry.
But so anyway, so Joe made it to the Hall of Fame too, but just not for playing. But the last kind of interesting St. Louis kind of angle to this, because once Yogi got established with the Yankees, he moved to he lived in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But he met his wife Carmen at Biggie and Charlie's restaurant, which was up on 6435 Chippewa at the time, and later became Mutual and Biggie's.
Yeah.
Because I guess Stan was a customer, and he was looking to get into some an investment other than baseball, and so Biggie, whose real name is Julius Biggie Garanani, I hope I said it right.
Parmigiani.
Anyway, Charlie got kicked out. Charlie, I think his name was Charlie Ray, R.E. But anyway, Charlie's gone. Stan moved in, but Yogi was in love with Carmen, but he and Joe didn't have any money, so they'd sit at the bar. They didn't have money, and they were young guys, but they just sit there and drink water all day. And then finally Joe says, "Hey, I ain't coming down here every day and just sitting here and staring at this gal. You need to go up and ask her for a date." So Yogi finally did. He ended up taking her to a hockey game. And this was back in the 40s, so I don't know who the Blues weren't here at,
right.
But I think the
African Americans
game.
The
Eagles. Okay, yeah.
Seriously?
Anyway, he took Carmen out, and they got married shortly after that, and the rest is history.
What made you come up with that? That's not a normal one, just because of St. Louis history.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk more about St. Louis and just to highlight maybe some things, because I always wondered who Biggie was in Mutual and Biggie's, and
now you know.
And I didn't know that Mutual, because the Mutual and Biggie's I remember was up on Oakland down the street from the arena, but they used to be there at like Lindenwood and Chippewa.
My father-in-law he worked there. He's a back bar guy.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm. Talks about it all the time. And his uncle Jimmy Michaels would come in, and he'd get to go sit with him until he was done, and then he had to go back.
I believe the Mutuals was the Bob Costas tells a good story when he used to cover the St. Louis Spirit and the basketball team, go in there with the basketball team. He had no money, and he was thinking, I'm in here with the basketball team. And they sat down, they ordered all this food. All the players boogied on him, and he just sat there
sitting
with
there alone
huge
with the bill.
As a 22-year-old kid.
That's happened a lot.